Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you'll find helpful resources on ESL topics and academic writing content, all from a biblical perspective to honor Christ and to advance His kingdom. My name is Selena, and today we will be discussing how to use the verb to do in the simple present tense. This video is geared towards advanced or intermediate learners, but anyone is welcome to watch. This video is part 1 of another video which will be released at a later date. If you need to, please pause or stop the video at any time to take notes as well as to practice your pronunciation. Let's get started. Here on this first slide we have to do and its conjugated forms for the simple present tense for both singular and plural pronouns. Let's read each of these together out loud, starting with I do. I do. You do. He, she, it does. We do. You do. They do. As you can see, he, she, and it are the only pronouns with does. Every other pronoun has do. It's very typical for conjugated verbs to end in s, ies, or es when they are next to he, she, or it. We'll discuss this third person rule more in detail later in the video. Let's move on and look at how to do is used as a main verb in a couple of sentences. Using to do as a main verb helps us to show who is doing the action. For example, I do things. They do stuff. We do chores. All of these sentences show that action is happening. Things and stuff mean any activity you can think of, such as doing chores or doing your homework, running errands, or even spending time with family. However, chores specifically means work at home, such as vacuuming. We can also use to do as a main verb to form positive commands, such as do your homework this instant. Do the dishes, please. Do what I say. As you can see, none of these commands have the singular or plural pronoun you, because there's no need to. As you can see in the photo, the mother is telling her son to do your homework this instant. The son knows that his mother is talking to him only, so there's no need to put you in the sentence. If I am talking to a group of students, I could say you do your homework this instant because you is plural. However, I don't need to say you because my students would know that I'm talking to them only. Let's look at how to do is used as a helping verb. To do is used as a helping verb or an auxiliary verb for many reasons, including for emphasis, to form negative statements, and to form questions. For part 1, we will only be talking about emphasis and negative statements. Using to do for emphasis means using to do to help emphasize or to put more focus on the main verb of a sentence. A good example would be, I do like sweet tea. I can say I like sweet tea, but if I want to show how much I like sweet tea without using very much, such as I like sweet tea very much or I like sweet tea a lot, I can use do to help emphasize or to put more focus onto the main verb like, which is underlined. I do like sweet tea. I like sweet tea. I do like sweet tea. I can also use do if I'm remembering something. Let's say you tell me, I enjoy cats. And I say out loud, as I remember, you do enjoy cats. I use a different tone as I'm remembering something, but I still use do to emphasize the main verb, in this case, enjoy. I can also use do or does to confirm important information, such as he does read. That could be an answer to a question such as, does your brother read? I could say, he reads, or he does read. Again, each of these use a different tone, but they're all using do or does for emphasis. As you can see, each of the main verbs which are underlined have no s, es, or ies. Let's talk more about that third person rule. He reads turns into he does read. It goes turns into it does go. She studies turns into she does study. Please note that not every verb in English follows this rule. You have verbs such as modal verbs like can, could, that don't drop any S's or have any S's to drop. And we'll talk more about that in a later video. As we continue to talk about emphasis, I want to note something important. You shouldn't use emphasis for all sentences because it can make your conversation or your writing, if you are writing something, very repetitive. For example, she does walk every day. She does see the sky. The birds do fly in the sky. Even if it's a good story, it would sound very, very repetitive to use do or does for emphasis in every sentence. So she does walk every day, she walks every day, basically means the same thing, but it's best to limit your use of do or does for emphasis. Let's look at how to do is used to form negative statements. And so a good negative statement would be, I do not like water. Here we have a negative statement because of the not. You do not enjoy books. He does not eat soup. She does not drive at night. Again, all of our main verbs have no s, es, or ies. But because these are negative statements, and we have do not or does not, we can combine these two words together to form contractions, such as, I do not like water. Do not combines to form don't. The apostrophe, which is that little tail next to the N, shows us that there is a missing letter. In this case, it is O. And so if I want to use don't in this sentence, it would be, I don't like water. Let's look at another sentence with does not. She does not drive at night turns into with doesn't. She doesn't drive at night. Again, we have no O in between the N and the T with the contraction. Excellent. Now let's talk about negative commands. Do not go ahead. Do not leave the door open. Don't forget the cat. As you can see, negative commands only really differ from positive commands because of not, and you can use contractions like don't. However, they're similar in that you don't have to use the singular or plural pronoun you. And it's important also to note that we wouldn't use doesn't for negative commands or does for positive commands because doesn't and does are used for third person singular pronouns. Let's practice by looking at more examples of to do. She does sing on the choir. Please repeat. She does sing on the choir. We do laundry on Wednesday mornings. We do laundry on Wednesday mornings. I do not understand this math lesson. I do not understand this math lesson. Since this is a negative statement, we can use don't, and if we were to do so, the sentence would be, I don't understand this math lesson. Do what I say. Do what I say. Again, you could use you for commands, but it is not necessary. Do not study too late. Do not study too late. Because this is a negative command, we could use the contraction don't. So we'll have don't study too late. Let's review. As we've learned, we can use to do as a main verb to indicate action. So someone doing something. For example, I do homework. We could also use it to form positive commands such as do your homework. We can also use to do as a helping verb for emphasis, whether it means giving special attention to the main verb or when we remember something or we're confirming important information. We could use it to form negative sentences as a helping verb with does not or do not. And we can also use it to form questions, which we will discuss in part 2. Congratulations, you finished the lesson. Now we will look at a Bible verse that uses do in context. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ. And this is from the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verses 23 to 24. Here we have do, and it is used as a main verb in this verse, or I should say verses. And it's important that we actively work heartily, work with all of our heart to please and to serve the Lord. I hope that you all enjoyed this lesson and that you were blessed by it. Please feel free to subscribe and to like, and I will see you in the next video.